can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say they want it.
So I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be a story time on my most toxic friend. And this is kind of like a story that's going to lead up into the big fallout. So I'm gonna tell y'all the events in chronological order, and they take place starting in the 8th grade. I should have been cut her off, should have been stopped being her friend in the 8th grade when I tell y'all. But yeah, so we about to just like hop straight into it. The background on this friendship is I met her in the 5th grade, and we've been friends ever since. I stopped being friends with her the summer right before our senior year started of high school. So the first story takes place in the 8th grade when we have a mutual friend, and we used to always hang out with each other, and me and her are friends, so I'm gonna say her name. Her name is Mari, and me and Mari and Toxic, we're gonna call the girl Toxic, we used to always hang out with each other, like always. We was friends in the 7th grade, but the 7th grade summer going into 8th grade, we like, me and Mari had like fell out basically over a situation, a stupid situation, and we didn't like each other. So when 8th grade came around, like we used to always sit with each other, and we used to like have this big group at lunch, but they used to keep us separate because we didn't like each other. So me and Mari used to go back and forth like almost every day. Like she used to say stuff about me, and I used to say stuff about her, and we just like, you know, kept arguing. So some of the girls at the table was basically saying like, this is not your friend, Toxic is not your friend, because she always laughs when Mari said something about you. Like, that's not your friend, you need to stop being her friend. She don't try to stick up for you, she don't tell Mari to stop saying stuff, and you know, stuff like that. So I kind of took what they said and I absorbed it, and I sat back and I observed, and I realized that they were right. So I cut her off. So when I cut her off, she was just like, she became real bitter, like real bitter. She was mad that I cut her off, and she used to like try to say stuff too. And mind y'all, I think, no, we did have moved lunch tables by then. Me and the girls who basically said like, this is not your friend, you need to stop talking to her, we had moved tables. And yeah, so they used to just say stuff and keep saying stuff. So one situation in particular is me and her were in the same choir class, but I didn't have no classes with Mari 8th grade year. So me and her had the same choir class, and we also had another friend. I'm not gonna give her name because she's not significant in the story, but we had a friend named Jasmine, and they both sat on the same sides. And y'all know, like in choir, you're organized by your voice, like you have to sit with your people in the range of your voice. So her and Jasmine sat on the same side, but like Jasmine was sitting higher than her, because it was like kind of like if you go to a movie theater, the rows were stacked like that, and there was chairs and we had to sit. But I was on the other side because my voice is different than theirs. So she looks at Jasmine one day and she like, why does she have this hat on? Because I think my hair wasn't done, so I had wore a hat to class and stuff. So she looked at her, she was like, why does she got on this hat? And I screamed across the room, why did you send this boy nudes? I mean, he not significant to the story, but I said his name, and I'm not gonna say his name and the thing, but yeah. So I'm like, why did you send him nudes? So then she was blowing up my phone, like after school that day. She was blowing up my phone. She heard her mom blowing up my phone, and like all sorts of stuff, just trying to figure out who said it. I don't think she heard me say the name, but she was trying to figure out like who basically told me what I said. So, and that was like one of the situations that had happened. Like, she wasn't a good friend, she basically didn't stick up for me, is what I'm trying to say for that story. So then there's like, there's 2 stories, but they're gonna be placed, like it's the same situation, but it's gonna be placed in different parts of the story. This story is in chronological order leading up to the big fallout. So she had a best friend named Toxic, had a best friend, and her name, we're gonna name her Chanel. So Chanel used to really like this boy, and when I say really like, I mean really like this boy. They used to talk, but I think he had ended up cheating on her or whatever, but we're gonna call him Hustle. So she really liked Hustle, like really liked him, and she's a grade below us. So the boy Hustle, he's in my grade. So they basically was talking for a period of time. So I keep saying so, y'all, but anyway, what year is that? That was my junior year, and I was going to a football game for somebody I talked to, but the boy Hustle and the boy that I was talking to, they went to the same school and they were friends. So I was going to watch the boy play football, but the boy Hustle, he was in the stands with his friend, and they kept looking at Toxic, she said. Like, she kept saying, he keep looking over here. So after the game was over, you know, I'm waiting on the boy that I went to go see play football. And she went over there and she was like, do y'all dare me? Like, she kept saying, do y'all dare me to go over there and ask him why he keeps staring? So we was just like, okay, Toxic, just go over there. Like, you just want to go over there, so go over there. So she went over there and she comes back and she has his number. Now she know this is the boy that her best friend used to love. Like, she know that. So she basically you know, she started texting him, and then texting turned into she going over his house every weekend, like every single weekend. And she's like telling us, I'm not gonna disclose her information even though I really don't like her, but she like started telling us like all the stuff they was doing, and you know, stuff like that. So that's gonna be for that like section, but it's gonna come into play later in the story. So then, now how I just told y'all, she was talking to her best friend, oh man, that she really used to like. It's emphasis on a really used to like. So this boy, we're gonna call him Christian. So Christian used to talk to Toxic, where I think he talked to her sophomore year, but he had ended up playing her because in the middle of them texting, he popped out with this girl he used to mess with. So she was like butthurt about the situation, like butthurt. So fast forward a year, this is like junior year. That situation took place the beginning of the junior year, the football game. So in the middle, we was at a hotel party. It was at my cousin's hotel party. It was for her birthday, and my Toxic had came with me. So she was on the phone with him, and they was just talking or whatever. So she had, I think I had asked like, who are you on the phone with or something like that, and then she had shown me a picture. I'm like, oh, he cute or whatever. So I don't think that I knew that was, she had told me about the boy Christian before, but I don't think I did see him, but he took pictures with his face not showing, so I never had seen his face. So when she showed me this picture of him, I'm like, oh, he cute. I had never knew that was a boy. So she started saying how she used to talk to him before. I think she had put him on mute by this time, but she was like, you should talk to him. Now I know I shouldn't have talked to him because my friend had talked to him at the end of the day, but when I tell y'all, like, y'all don't really understand how she kept pressing me to talk to this boy. She kept pressing me like, talk to him, talk to him, talk to him, talk to him. Like, she just kept saying that you should talk to him. And I was just saying he cute. Like, I didn't think, no, I don't want to, like, just because I say somebody cute don't mean that I don't want to talk to them. So that's what she just kept saying, talk to him. So I'm like, all right, Toxic, I'm gonna talk to him. So we started texting that night, and this was like, I want to say the middle of October or whatever. So we have been planning to meet up for a couple of weeks so I could finally meet him in person. He was younger than me or whatever, so he went to the same school as Mari, and then Mari invited her friends because she was having like a big Halloween party at her house, and then she invited us. So he came to the party, and I had like met him for the first time. You know, we chatting it up or whatever, and we just chilling. And yeah, So a couple of days went past. I don't know how this got brought up, but I think he was the one who told me that she basically was trying to talk to him, well, not talk to him at the party, but she was like, you look good. Like, she told him he looked good. If your friend, I get that she talked to him, but you telling me to talk to him, why would you try to talk to him? Like, that don't even make no sense. So she was like, you look good, but as like, you're my friend, why would you try to talk to him? Why would you try to talk to him? Like, you known for this stuff at this point. And I should have knew. I should have knew. So he had told me that. So me, Mari, her and him was in a group chat, and he basically like sent the rundown of the situation. You know, she kept saying like he was talking about me, and then it just turned into this whole thing of me and her arguing in the group chat. So I think she was trying to be funny or whatever, but this is the next situation. Once she said this, I cut her off. I should have cut her off like right then and there and never quit being her friend after that. But I just cut her off and then started being her friend again. But she said, you need me, I don't need you. So I'm like, all right, you're done. I'm not your friend no more. Like, you know what, you got it, you don't need me. We gonna keep it that way, but I'm gonna prove to you I don't need you. So I stopped talking to her. She tried to text me. We used to ride the bus every morning together because we had like went to this tech program, but we was all in different tech programs. So we had to ride to our school, to this different school, where we would get picked up by buses that go to the schools that we're supposed to go to for the tech program. So it was in the morning, like we had to be at the bus stop by 6:45. Or no, the bus took off at 6:45. So she kept trying to talk to me on the bus, and I kept ignoring her. So then she was trying to have my one friend, I'm gonna say her name because she not really like significant in the story. She kept telling my friend Renasia like say something to her, basically trying to get me to talk to her. So that wasn't going, like that wasn't working for me. So I just like stopped being her friend. So I guess she had texted him, and you know what the thing is, me and him had stopped talking. We was just cool. Like, we used to text each other every day, but it was on some cool stuff. Like, we was just friends. Like, we used to just talk about life, what's going on in our life, and you know, stuff like that. Like, we just had stopped being friends. But even, I mean, we stopped like talking in that type of way. But even if, you should have not told him, because I didn't tell you that we stopped talking. That's weird. You're weird. Like, yeah. So anyway, yeah, she basically texted him, was like, thanks for ruining me and Amariana's friendship. He said, I didn't ruin your friendship, you did by what you said. And he had nothing to do with the situation though. It was the fact that she said what she said. Like, you didn't have to say all of that. If that's really how you felt though, that's really how you felt. So the thing is, you said you don't need me, but why are you trying to be my friend and I don't care nothing about you? I'm going on with my life, but you keep blowing up my phone. You keep wanting me to talk to you. You trying to have other people talk to me so you could be my friend again. Where do I need you at? Because I don't. So anyway, after that, you know, a couple of people kept saying like, it was Renasia. It was really Renasia. She kept saying, y'all should just be friends again, and da-da-da. So I started talking to her again. Dummy me. Dummy me. So, what else? Okay, so after that situation, this took place because this is when I had started talking to my boyfriend. So I started talking to my boyfriend January of 2020. For Valentine's Day, he was getting me something. So I asked her, could she go to his basketball game with me, because I think Valentine's Day that year was on the day of his game. And he got me something and I wanted to go see him play anyway. So, you know, could you go to the game with me? So I knew that there was another game going on because she had been talking about it like a little bit before then, and she was like basically the boy Hustle, he was playing in the game, and she wanted, I don't think she said she wanted to go, but I guess she kept talking about the game. So I had asked her, maybe probably like a couple of days after that, could she go with me to this game and whatnot. So the day of the game, she basically told me earlier that day she don't think she can go. Okay, cool. I'm about to find somebody else to go with. Like, yeah. I didn't want to sit. Y'all know how basketball games, especially at popular schools, you got all them people there. I really didn't want to go by myself. I would have went by myself, but I really did not want to go by myself. And I didn't know my boyfriend's mom at the time, because we had just started talking. Like, we started talking January 2nd, 22nd of 2020, and then Valentine's Day. Like, that's really no time. So yeah, she basically told me like she couldn't go to the game. So then after that, I was asking people to go to the game with me, and they were saying they didn't know. So the last period of the day for math, for us, was math, and she was in that class. So I basically was telling her I was asking other people to go, and she was like, why are you asking other people to go? I can go to the game with you. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then I forgot what had happened. I don't know if we were supposed to be meeting up or whatever, but I think she was gonna get dropped off at my house, and then we was gonna Uber there. But she was like, my mom said that she's not gonna be able to take me, it's too far away, she don't feel like doing it, and da da da. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm about to find somebody else to go with. What did I do? I found somebody else to go with. So then she thinking this, I never told her the whole entire time that I had found somebody else to go with. So I had ended up going to the game. She think I'm there by myself the whole time. So it didn't happen like that. So she kept telling the boy that did I give him a name? I honestly don't know. The boy that I was just talking to about y'all in the last story, she kept telling him to come to the school, because I guess they had started talking again by then. But she told him to come to the school and whatnot, to go be with me, because I was there by myself. But she told him not to tell me, and I'll tell y'all later how I found that out. But so yeah, I went to the game, I enjoyed the game, I got my gift, and yeah, I left. So later on that night, I had FaceTime Mari, and we were just talking, and I don't know how it came up, but she had said that Toxic went to the game with our other friend Jayla. So I'm like, when did she go to the game? She was like, tonight. And then she just basically like started telling me. So then Jayla had told me like, literally she didn't know that she didn't tell me that she wasn't going to the game with me, but she had told me once I told her the story that she was like, she kept asking about you, like have Amarion texted you, have Amarion texted you, and stuff like that. And then she kept saying, don't tell Amarion I'm with you, don't tell Amarion I'm with you, and stuff like that. So, you know, she lied about that situation. That's like, you're being weird, you should have just left it at the beginning. Like, sometimes she gives me weird vibes, because why do you not want me to go with nobody else but you? Because you could have just kept it that you couldn't go to the game. That's how I feel. So that was that situation. And then okay, so this is, oh wait, no, okay, so the story before that, because I had the last two stories is mixed up, they out of order. So my cousin friend had an Airbnb, and she had invited all of us to this Airbnb. Now this is not really a toxic friend story, y'all, my camera about to die. Okay y'all, so I left off on the part with the Airbnb. So basically my cousin's friend had an Airbnb for her birthday, and this isn't like a story about being a toxic friend, is what I was saying. So I was trying to show y'all like how basically boy crazy she is in this. So we went to the Airbnb, and they had boys there, of course, you know, like, it's your birthday, turn up. So they was a little bit older than us, so the boys they had was like older than us, I believe. But anyway, so all of us shared a room, And we had like some friends come over, and we was just talking to them and we was chilling, and then they had left or whatever. So she was basically asking, Toxic was asking us, could we go with her with these boys? I don't know where they was going, but they have not been in no hood type of area. Like, both of my friends who went, and they both know, like, they have not been in no hood type of area before. It's me and Maury. So they just kept, like, I'm taking a location because she asked both of us, but I said no, because first of all, they kept saying they was off of, I'm gonna put it on the screen, and I don't know them. Like, I don't know what they're capable of. So they kept going like farther and farther. Jayla had went with her. I told her not to go. She could have went by herself. I'm sorry, y'all, like, for saying that, but like, she shouldn't have went. I'm sorry, she shouldn't have went. So basically, I'm checking their location. They just getting farther and farther. So I don't know if I text Jayla and I had asked where they was at or whatever, but I know I had like went to sleep. Like, me and Mari had went to sleep, and I had like, basically, I heard a knock on the door, so I had opened the door and it was them. So then, like, a couple of minutes later, a boy started knocking on the door. He like, open the door, open the door. I'm like, do not open that door, because I know she was gonna try to open the door. So I'm like, do not open that door, Toxic. And I said, if you open that door, then you getting kicked out. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts, because I locked the door. So I told her, like, if you want to leave the room, go by any means, but I'm not letting you back in. So you pick your decision. You stay in this room, or you leave and you be out there with them. So she stayed in the room, and then that was that situation. But like, she went, and they was gone for like a minute, y'all. They was gone for a minute. So that was just like, you got in a car with some boys you don't know. You don't know what they could have did. Like, I don't know what else to say. She's just all over the place. So the last story is going to be our fallout. So me and my boyfriend, we had turned 6 months, and our date, like, we had planned a nice date for us. We were going to go to this nice restaurant, and I was irritated because it kept getting pushed back. Like, I was getting so freaking irritated. So the first incident that pushed it back was the girl who was doing my hair. She couldn't do my hair because her teeth, basically, like, she had teeth pain, so she had to go to the I don't know if it was the dental or like the emergency room or something like that. She had to go there. So I couldn't get my hair done, and then my boyfriend's brother had got COVID, so it got pushed back even more. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just like really irritating me. So when we finally got to go on our date, like, I kept telling her how irritated I was that it kept getting pushed back, and she kept saying like, I can't be thinking like that because it's like basically not his fault. I know it wasn't his fault or whatever, you know. And I'm not mad that the brother got COVID either, but I just was getting irritated because I really, like, the days just kept passing. Like, we're not even 6 months no more. Like, we are, but like, it ain't the fresh 6 months. So, you know, when we finally went on a date, we had went back to my auntie's house after the date, and she just like texted me out of nowhere, and she was like, do y'all talk about me? I'm like, yeah, we talk about how you lie. So and that's true, we did talk all the time about how she lied. She was talking about me, Jayla, and Mari, like how we used to what's the name, like, do we talk about her, and what do we talk about if we do talk about her? And I said, yeah, we talk about how she lied, and then we talk about the situation, like, because there was some rumors going around with some boys, and they kept saying like she been with this dude, that dude. So we did tell her that, though. We told her that one. So that's basically like what we talked about with her, because she used to lie to us all the time, literally for no reason. Like I said, the Valentine's Day game, why did you even have to lie about that? You could have just told me you wanted to go see the boy that you was talking to, which was Hustle. Even though that's your best friend's old man and one that she truly loved, you're weird. So anyway, basically after that, I had told her like, yeah, we do talk about you. So then I get a phone call from my friend Maury, and she basically like telling me the whole rundown, because I guess they had started arguing with her too. And she basically had told me like, my friend Jayla had picked up, I think I called her Chanel. She had picked up Chanel, and she they was all going to the mall together, but they had started talking about how she was lying to Chanel the whole entire time about talking to Hustle. Like, she kept telling her, because her cousin had told her, Chanel's cousin had told her that she was messing with Hustle, and she kept denying it. He also told her that she was doing stuff with Hustle, and she just kept denying it. So Jayla was basically telling her like everything, well, she wasn't telling her everything was true. Chanel had asked like, did that really happen? And then she was like, Jayla was like, that's not my place to say. So she took it as, yeah, it did happen. So that's what she had told me. And then like, I guess they was like, and she always tried to keep us separate too, and we always wanted to invite her because our boyfriends is in the same friend group. Like me, Jayla, and Chanel, our boyfriends is in the same friend group. But I guess Toxic just felt like Chanel was her friend, and she just wanted her to be her friend off to the side, and then she had this friend group or whatever. She was just trying to keep us separate, and also like she didn't want that to happen, like her to find out that she was talking to Hustle. So yeah, that had happened. So then I basically told her like, I don't have time to deal with this right now, because you know that I'm with my boyfriend. You know how irritated I was that day when we didn't get to have this date. So we could talk about this later. She's like, why do we gotta talk about it later? I just kept talking. So I blocked her. I'm not gonna lie, because she sends paragraphs, and I mean, you could ask Maury, you could ask Jayla, if you know them, she sends paragraphs, and paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. So I'm like, I'm blocking you. So that basically happened. So then, y'all, I don't use Snapchat no more, but I do have Snapchat. So I just so happened to check my Snapchat like a couple of days later, and I see that she messaged me, and she just like, you really blocked me. And she just kept like, you know, kept going with the paragraphs on Snapchat. So I'm like, all right, bro. Like, please stop. So what happened? I didn't block her off there. I just left it on scene. So I think like a couple of days had went past, and she had texted me again. And then I had posted, because I had took a lash class during this time, so I had posted them. Then she was like, oh, those cute. I said thank you, and we just let it be. Like, we don't have to be friends. I could just say thank you and keep pushing. So then she tried to take that as a way to like try to be my friend again. And then I basically told her about herself, and then she was like, you always bring up the same situations every single time we argue, but I see what you want. So I just left that on red, because you can support me from a distance, and that's what I'm gonna say. Like, we don't have to be friends, and that's just gonna be that. We don't have to be friends. So that was like our fallout situation. Y'all might think like that's small, but she had too many chances, like way too many chances. And not to mention, I'm not gonna tell y'all this story, but I'll tell y'all a part, and I'll give y'all the story if y'all want the story. But this January, she basically has a friend that they're all in cosmetology school together. Like I said, we in tech programs, so they in cosmetology school together. But the girl don't go to my school, she go to some other school, but they became friends because they're in the same program. So she texted my boyfriend, told me that this girl had basically he was in her live one day, but like it was by accident, and the girl basically like asked him, do he mess with anybody, because she got a friend that want to talk to him. So he know that this is what's Toxic's friend. So I'm like, if it's Toxic, bruh, like it's on site. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts, it's on site, because you dead wrong. And we have been together for a year. And so I basically told him to fake like we broke up, like we deleted, not deleted, but we archived all of our pictures. You know, I'm not deleting my highlights because you're not gonna get those back. So yeah, so he basically act like we had broke up, and she basically started asking all these like questions, because he asked like who was the friend that wanted to talk to me, and she started asking all these questions. So now I'm starting to think it's her, and it was her. It did turn out to be her. But I still think, what's the name, Toxic had to do something with it, because you know that this is my boyfriend. We've been together for a year. You knew that we were together. We were still friends when me and him were together. So you know, like, and even if she didn't know at the time, I'm pretty sure she showed you the dude that she did want to talk to. You should have said that this is name's whatever, we're not friends no more, but you could have said this is this old girl's boyfriend. So I tell my friends basically what happened, and I wasn't gonna text the girl because I didn't know that, like, if she knew that we were together, even though I think it's quite odd because we have been together for a year, and I'm not saying we this big couple and everybody's supposed to know, but Cleveland is very small, so you know, everybody know everybody. And I'm pretty sure she didn't, like, even though if she don't, well, if she wanted him, she had to follow him, and I'm on his page, so you knew some type of way. Or you probably seen somebody repost us before, because you're friends with people who repost us. So like, I know you didn't seen us before together. I know you seen me on his page. So it's just weird. But I wasn't gonna say nothing to her, but my friends was like, my one friend, Renasia, she was like, she talked to people, boyfriends and stuff like that, so I feel like you should say something. So I did DM her. If y'all want a part 2 to that story, y'all go ahead and let me know, because I'll give y'all a part 2, because it went down after that. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Do y'all think she was toxic though? I think she was toxic. I think she should have been cut off after the 8th grade, to be honest. But you know, I don't know if I should say naive or whatever, but I just didn't know what I was doing. So she was a very toxic friend. I'm glad she's out of my life. If you see this video, please exit off the video, because I don't like you. And yeah, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all in the next video. Drop a comment down below if y'all want to see the part 2 to that, and peace.